Hey everyone. Sorry for the condition of my the desk, but those of you that know me, I don't really do slick professional videos. But I just wanted to talk about something that I've kind of noticed for a while now, and just kind of thought I wanted to make a quick video and get just get my thoughts out there and get your thoughts on it. So we live in a golden age, really, of action figures. I mean, there has been so many advances in sculpting, in engineering, and just massive amounts of creativity. It's been amazing, but I think that one area where the technology has lagged behind is the concept of the action figure stand. Let's face it, because since the majority of folks that collect action figure are adults, pretty much a stand has become mandatory. Anybody that has a shelf of figures knows how, a slight breeze or a hiccup can, knock an entire shelf over like dominoes. And so that's why, really most manufacturers are including stands with their figures. But the problem with the stands is that it's kind of still, um, a technology that has not evolved really over the years. I remember I think it was in the late end of the of GI Joe is when I began to see stands being added to figures, and basically it was just a flat base with a peg in it that could you could set the figure the little holes in the heels or the foot into, which was kind of a derivative of the technology they used for the vehicles to keep figures on. And from there, that's pretty much all the variations that you get from stands. It's the default setting. I mean, there's some things like the nice little stands. They have the rod that clips around the waist or the leg or the arm, to hold it up. And I've seen some things where you slot the foot into it, like the whole heel, to hold it. But pretty much that's hit or miss, and it's the peg in the foot thing that kind of has remained the standard. But there's a lot of problems with that. A lot of times you get a stand, even from companies that manufacture them with their good their goods. Excuse me. Yeah, and this is also one of the problems the third party stands have is a lot of times that that sometimes the peg is very hard to get into the foothold there, where you almost feel like you either have to stretch that out, or or break it off, and even if once you get it off, sometimes they snap off, and and you have some problems with it. And even then, I kind of view stands as not so much as a way to keep your figure upright, as just as a way to keep your figure from delaying falling over. So and these are just a few. These are some companies I bought figures from, and I love the figures. The companies are great, but they all came with stands. One of them is the first one is the Joy Toy Fire Soulful guy, and this one, and his, of course, is going to do it. This one, every time I would pick it up, it doesn't take much for it to fall off. I know I kind of forced that one there because, of course, on camera it's not going to do what it's been doing all day today. But it was a very loose stand, very loose peg in there. So I'm constantly, every time I go to pick this figure up, the stand wants to fall off, except when I try to do it on camera. The classified figures, they tend to do okay, but it's kind of a hit or miss with that. This one I got is the Big Bad Workshop. That one just came right off. That the peg is there, and even with the Valverse stand, sometimes it's hard to get them started in there. They have nice thick pegs, but it's kind of hard to get it into the boot sometime with with that. So I just kind of wonder, does what could be done to improve stands to help them work better? It's a conundrum to me. Like I said, all these ones, again, like I said, of course, I get them on camera and they're not going to do what I wanted them to. But every one of these, at some point this morning, as I'm moving crap around on my desk, I would pick it up and the stand would just pop off. Or originally, I've got them on there and they don't fall, but then trying to get the figure off of them, becomes becomes a pain. Um, so just, what are your thoughts on stands? Is it just something that, are you having to like put little bits of ticky tacky in there to make them stand, and or do you just do them together, or is there like a third party thing that you guys are going to? I just really want to know. It's just kind of one of those things that it's weird and inconsistent sometimes. So, this is kind of a rambling thought video here. So just let me know what you think.